Good evening, I'm Isabella Zuccaroli, and before we begin this celebration, I want to take a moment to thank a few people. To pull something like this together, especially in these circumstances, takes a village. So in that case, thank you to Dr. Blanchard, Mr. Wilson, Dylan, our cameraman, and to everyone who has made this virtual celebration and all of the others that have happened possible. Additionally, I'd like to thank the teachers and the Cumberland Valley High School staff who have made an impact on our lives over the past 4 years. You are the ones who have helped to shape us into the young adults we are today. As I've been preparing for my AP Stats, I've been doing a lot of work with probability and the chances of certain events occurring. This got me thinking of the chances of all the events that occur in our lives. With a simple Google search, I was able to find that the chance of any of us even being born is 1 in 400 trillion. And what was the probability of our senior year being ambushed by COVID-19, the type of disease that erupts once every 100 years or so? With that being said, even though school might have been out during this time, we have been taught many lessons. These circumstances have presented us with a choice. We can either fret about what has been lost, or we can turn it into a chance for personal growth and development. Another important lesson that we can learn is to expect the unexpected. While we have no control over the chances of many things happening in our lives, a positive attitude is how we prove our resilience to ourselves and to others. This resilience is what has sparked unity among families and friend groups across the world via Zoom calls and virtual celebrations like this one. So as we try to navigate our way through the end of this pandemic and through the rest of our lives, I want to leave you with a quote from John Lennon that has inspired me for years. Everything will be okay in the end. If it isn't okay, it isn't the end. On this note, welcome everyone to the 2020 Baccalaureate ceremony, and congratulations to my fellow classmates of the class of 2020. I'm grateful that our unexpected journeys of life have come together this evening for us to celebrate.
Good evening. My name is Mark Blanchard, and I would also like to welcome you to the 2020 Baccalaureate service. You just heard from Isabella Zuccaroli. Isabella is a member of the National Honor Society and the National World Language Honor Society, as well as being an AP Scholar with distinction. She is finishing her Cumberland Valley career with a GPA of 106, with 13 AB and IB courses on her transcript. Isabella was a 3-year member of the varsity lacrosse team and was named captain this past year. She also revived the CV Africa Club and led a drive collecting prescription eyeglasses, with more than 1,000 pairs collected for children in rural Ghana. Isabella also participated in the top soccer program and was a captain of the elementary age, helping the students her senior year. Outside of school, Isabella plays the piano and spends a lot of quality time with her family and friends. She is headed to Johns Hopkins University this next year, majoring in chemistry on the pre-med track. The baccalaureate service has taken a variety of forms over the years. It's our hope that tonight you will find the words and the music shared by your colleagues and our keynote speaker to be a source of encouragement to you. It's a privilege to be part of the CV community and to be surrounded by these students. Our next speaker is Anne-Marie Nguyen, who also finished her high school career at CV with a GPA of 106. An AP Scholar with distinction, she has taken 16 AP and IB courses while also serving as a member of the National Honor Society, the Key Club, and the Registration Committee for the CV Minithon. She is also a member of the varsity lacrosse and swim team, earning the E. Jerry Brooks Award for Academic Excellence for her efforts. In her free time, with hopes to inspire people with her art and create a close-knit community via social media, under an alias, she created an Instagram account that reached more than 30,000 followers from all over the country and the world. She remembers this being one of the most unique experiences of her life, taught her many lessons, and gave her priceless memories. In the fall, Anne-Marie will be attending the University of Pittsburgh as a member of their honors program with plans to major in neuroscience.
Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in with me here today. First and foremost, I wanted to say congrats on finishing your high school career. I know a lot of you have worked hard to be where you are now, and I know a lot of us have longed for and counted down the days where we could finally wear our caps and gowns and graduate, which is a huge and major stepping stone in our lives, and then we'll finally move on to college. And I know you guys have been waiting so long for this. And while that specific moment won't happen until August 1st, I just wanted to say that I'm so proud of each and every one of you for working hard and persevering until the very end, and now you can finally rest knowing that you've put in your best efforts forward, given the circumstances and the epidemic going on in the world right now. Speaking of, it's been very clear that what we've been experiencing in the world right now in this time has been nothing like we've ever encountered before. It seems like the days have just blended together, day to night, day to night. The cycle keeps on repeating and the days go by, yet we just don't know how the time has passed by so fast. It's been 2 months now since we've been out of school. March, April, May, actually it may even be 3 months. But what I'm trying to say here is that through this time alone in this isolation and quarantine, I've come to realize a few things. One thing that I learned was the law of attraction and manifestations. For those of you that don't know about this is basically the belief that one has the ability to attract anything that one wants or strives for. And with positive energy and positive thoughts, one can bring in a good cycle of energy and also bring in positive experiences into one's life. I took this time in my life to really figure out what mattered to me and what was important in regards to my life, my future, and my goals ahead. Through this time, through this self-isolation, I was able to find strength within myself and really focus on the small things that I really cared about, because with this quarantine, I realized that a lot of things that occurred in my life I had taken for granted. My family, my friends, my teammates, being able to go places without putting a mask on, I took all of that for granted. And through this break, I was able to reflect on that. I came to realize that this time could be used to try new things and go out of my comfort zone. This change in my daily routine, going to school, going to my sports, extracurriculars, and then going home just to do my homework late at night, just to repeat the cycle over and over again. This break, this epidemic, could be a catalyst for change. And sometimes while change can be scary, it can be overwhelming, sometimes, well, most of the time, for me, it led to self-reflection and growth. The universe works in weird ways, and honestly, all it takes is belief in yourself, and a lot of things that seem like coincidences aren't really at all. It's because you manifested it yourself, and you believed in the ability, and you really wanted to achieve your dream or your goal. And one more thing I wanted to note, as we move on in our lives and as we open new chapters in our journey, as the world develops even more and pushes boundaries no one has ever been to, and as mankind pushes all technologies past the limits of science and space, remember your origins. We all came from somewhere. We all have a story to tell. What is your story? Speak your mind and be bold. Be kind. Be resilient. Be fearless, because forever, till the end of our lives, we will forever be known as the class of 2020. We will be remembered through history. Once again, congratulations, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Bye!
I have had the privilege of knowing Katie Malloy since her elementary days, when she first began playing the violin at age 8. In addition to her place in our own orchestra, Katie is a longtime member of the Harrisburg Symphony Youth Orchestra, serving this past year as concertmaster. In the fall, Katie will be attending Wheaton College, where she will be majoring in music education and political science. Recognized for excellence at the county, district, and regional level, Katie is the best, and tonight we are privileged to hear from her a piece she recorded from her home. Our next speaker this evening is Anushka Kanka. Also with a GPA of 106 and 16 AP courses on her resume, Anushka has been recognized as a National AP Scholar as well as being a National Merit Scholarship finalist. She also received the Elks Lodge Outstanding Student Award for Academic Excellence, Leadership, and Community Service. Anushka is a student school board representative and a Key Club officer, a member of the National Honor Society, the National Art Honor Society, and Anushka has also won multiple regional and state level awards in science fair competitions. On top of all of that, Anushka enjoys playing tennis as part of the varsity girls tennis program and volunteers regularly at a local hospital and nursing home. She will be attending the University of Pittsburgh in the fall for pre-med, majoring in molecular biology with a biochemistry track.
Good evening once again to all the family, friends, faculty, teachers, and my fellow classmates of the class of 2020, who are all watching this ceremony from their homes. I don't think any of us predicted our baccalaureate ceremony would take place like this in front of a screen instead of an auditorium full of smiling faces. I didn't think the last day I would see all of my teachers, friends, and classmates would be a random Friday in March, but life doesn't always work out the way we plan it. As I'm looking out at all the empty seats in front of me, I'm imagining that all of you are here with me. And I hope that that imagination becomes a reality on August 1st when I get to see all of you again. But with everything that has been happening, I'm so thankful to the CV community in putting forth their best efforts to make this ceremony possible. Even though this is very different from our visions, we are proud to be graduating as the class of 2020. I want to thank my parents for their constant support and encouragement in helping me discover my passions. And I would urge each of you to take a look at your family and realize that they are proud of your accomplishments and that they will continue to support you through your future endeavors. Now take a moment to remember all of the teachers who helped you grow academically and shaped you into stronger individuals. High school can be rough, so I would like to personally thank all of the faculty and staff who made our high school life as comfortable as possible. The fact that we are already graduating seems so surreal to me and hadn't really even set in until I started writing this speech. As I was writing, I started looking back upon all of my memories of high school, good and bad, and all the lessons I learned from my experiences. I personally have spent the last 13 years at Cumberland Valley, and I'm glad to have been here since the beginning to see all of my friends and classmates grow through the years with me. It's been a long, sometimes strenuous ride, but it got us here to where we are today. The relationships we forged while discovering ourselves will stay with us as we move on to the next phase of our journeys. I can still remember when we were all confused freshmen trying to find our classes in the huge high school without getting lost, getting booed by upperclassmen at pep rallies, and just being overwhelmed by the sudden shift in workload. By the time we were sophomores, we thought we had it all figured out because we knew the school better and we found our place. But then junior year sets in, and I don't know about the rest of you, but that was a rough year for me. It was pretty stressful. But senior year made it all worth it. We were finally at the top, and we were enjoying our last year at CV, counting the days until graduation. And now that time has finally come. I know this year has been somewhat bittersweet with missing things such as prom and the musical that we've been looking forward to for so long. And I know how you all feel, but I am proud of us for remaining humble, hungry, and kind through it all. So tonight, I want to celebrate the class of 2020. I want to celebrate all of your accomplishments over the past 4 years and the impact you had on this school. To each and every one of my fellow classmates, I want to tell you that you are special, and you have left your mark on CV. And this is just the beginning. The best is yet to come. Each of you is now prepared for any new challenge that may come your way next. And as you all go on your unique paths and forge your careers, you will only continue to grow and realize your ambitions. I wish you the best of luck for your futures. And although there might be setbacks and obstacles, I believe that you can overcome them because I've seen the strength and determination in our class. As you now take this next step, remember that you are all braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and loved more than you know. So go push the boundaries and fearlessly pursue your dreams. The last 4 years have been quite an adventure, and I have learned qualities of strength, leadership, gratitude, and many more from each of the unique students and faculty. And even though we are all different, I believe we are experiencing the same feelings during this time. Congratulations, class of 2020. We finally made it.
Tonight, we also have the privilege of hearing from our string quartet, comprised of Hannah So, Katie Malloy, Lindsay Bell, and Allie Koch. They will be performing for us a Soak-In Farewell by Jay Unger.
Nick Wilson has served as our grade level principal for the past 4 years. Prior to that, he served as grade level principal for the classes of 2012 and 2016. Before that, he was the principal for CV's alternative education program. He's been an English teacher, a special education teacher, an adventure-based education coordinator, a baseball coach, and a therapeutic wilderness camp counselor. He's been selected as a leader by his coaches and peers since the age of 8. He's been FFA president, co-captain of his high school baseball team, the lead role in a musical, president for Student Council for Exceptional Children, and selected as Graduate Student of the Year. But he's never given a baccalaureate address. As a student growing up in a small town in East Tennessee, Mr. Wilson learned many lessons playing sports and working on his father's dairy farm. Those experiences helped him to understand some of the most basic lessons of working with other people. Since 6th grade, Mr. Wilson knew he wanted to teach English and coach baseball. That is, if he didn't make it into the major leagues. Turns out, he didn't make it, so he's here with us tonight. Class of 2020, raise those Wilson fatheads if you've got 'em, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you, Isabella. Good evening, parents, staff members, administrators, and the unprecedented Cumberland Valley class of 2020. Welcome to a baccalaureate like none other in the history of the world. It's pretty humbling to say those words. 4 years ago, you sat in this pack listening to all the expectations and rules about what it was going to be like to go to this new, really big high school. You watched a presidential election that would give us the first female president or the first reality TV president. You watched Brexit. You nearly single-handedly created TikTok. And I can't stop watching it now. I really can't. It's truly amazing. I don't know how many times I've walked through the house and said, I'm bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. That'll be forever in my head, so thank you. Well, today, after nearly 2.5 months of completing your senior year in the comforts of your own homes, you made it. You are the class of 2020. No one will ever have a story like yours. Your kids and grandkids really won't understand. You have an experience in your hip pocket that will carry you for the rest of your life. It will be a part of you, but it won't define you. What will define you is what you do with all of the unique opportunities that lie ahead. All of the adults around you now, myself included, we grew up in the sweet spot of American society. Businesses and real estate boomed. We went to the moon. We watched Michael Jordan in real time. He became Air Jordan. And some of us wore the shoes. We watched the world become as flat as it is as a result of all of the business opportunities around the globe. And it's been easy these last 40-some years to become satisfied. But the opportunities ahead of you are exponential. You, this class, will get to create and define what the new world will look and feel like. Literally. Your gifts that you give to your older peers, even your younger ones, will shape the world and how the world will move forward. Admittedly, that's some pressure, but the accomplishments I've seen in this class of 2020 leads me to believe that you're up for the task. As you begin to navigate this new world existence that you're moving into, I'd like to give you some tidbits that have helped me along the way. I'm certainly not perfect, and I've had to reflect on these many times. So take it easy on yourself. We're always a work in progress. Tidbit 1, before you say anything or do anything, think of other people. Think of what that statement or act will create in other people. Many of you, as I have, learned this lesson the hard way, on a playground, in a classroom, with adults or your peers. As you move into this post-quarantine world, this may become a really important consideration since all of us have experienced this pandemic in different ways. Which leads me to tidbit number 2. Tidbit number 2, be likable. As you navigate your next steps, you'll find that you know that who you know and what you know are really important, but not nearly as important as who you know, what you know, and who likes you. If you aren't likable, those opportunities that lie before you will eventually become fewer and less attractive. I'm not insisting that you always have to be liked. In fact, because of the people who don't learn this lesson, you won't be. But always try to be likable. Life is way easier that way. Tidbit number 3, and the last one. Stay hungry in a humble kind of way. You're about to take your next step, and that step is likely one that will end in some type of achievement. Military boot camp, earning a certificate, a college diploma, a job promotion. You will sacrifice many relationships in an effort to achieve these things. But when you can, keep in mind that there will come a time when you will sacrifice those kinds of achievements for really important relationships. In my opinion, that's the good stuff in life. I hope you get there sooner than I did. The next 10 years of your life will likely prove to be the most important 10 years of your life. You'll choose a college, a major, a profession, a life partner, a house, a car. You might even become a parent. All while navigating this post-pandemic world. It's about to get real, y'all. Your parents and those teachers you griped about, they're going to be the least of your concerns now. But they did their job, and you're ready. I've absolutely loved seeing all of you grow into young adults and accomplish more than you ever thought you could. It's been an honor, and I'm so glad our paths crossed and I could be a part of your journey and your story. But your story is far from over, class of 2020. In fact, it's just begun. You have lives to influence unlike any other class in the history of Cumberland Valley High School. Go do it. Don't ever forget. Stay humble, hungry, and kind. H2K, y'all.
Cumberland Valley class of 2020. It has been a privilege for me to share this journey with you. We are nearing the end, but our journey is not yet over. Thank you for your time with us this evening, and until we meet again, be blessed.